In this tutorial, we're taking a look at Business Activity Monitoring and the Orchestration Designer for Business Analysts, a new feature that's come with BizTalk 2006, BAM. So ODBA is a piece that you actually have to download from Microsoft, extract, and install separately on your machine. Now, what it does is it adds a plugin to Visio, such that when you launch Visio, you actually see a BizTalk category, and you can open up your new template called Orchestration Designer for Business Analysts. In 2004, this was originally intended to be a piece used again by business analysts to sort of start off the design of one's orchestrations, to define the business activity itself from, say, a more abstract point of view. Notice we have very simple shapes here, like just a decide shape or action shapes. And once a business analyst was able to use this, define the basic flow of how a process might work, they could extract it and give it off to a developer who could then import it into BizTalk and actually generate an orchestration based upon this basic definition. The orchestration it generated might have the decide shape in it, but mostly would have actually sort of like comment shapes that would simply be placeholders to tell them what should happen in this area. But we're creating our basic design here this time, not because we're necessarily intending to hand it over to the designer to develop the orchestration, but because we want to use it for BAM. So the new thing in 2006 is I can actually define milestones within ODBA. So again, as a business analyst, I'm the one who knows how this process goes. I know what milestones I'm looking for and when they should occur. So the tool that I'm given gives me that ability to start defining this. So I define a few milestones here, like when's the order going to be received, or when is it actually approved, versus when is it denied, versus when is the order completed. And I can fill these guys in. And once I fill in all of my milestones, then I can also define the kind of data that I want to track. So the data is what I'm going to use later on to say, I want to know based upon, what city, what's the average order amount that these orders for, or what's the maximum. Or I might create a location dimension later on where I break it down by state, then to city, to see again average number of orders, average amount for those orders, whatever I define as the dimensions that I want to look at. So I'll also track, of course, the amount here and specify its data type as decimal. And last but not least, probably be interested in the product name occasionally. So use the product as my fourth data value to track. So once I filled in all these pieces of data interest, I can then export this file to XML and actually import it into an Excel spreadsheet and use the BAM plugin in the Excel spreadsheet to further define the views that I want to publish to BAM. So our final step here for this purpose will simply be to save this definition.